Hey everybody, it is Rob. It is Saturday, May 19th. We are just starting out on the Carbon River Road / trail. It's an old road that was partially washed out. Takes you to the Ipsut Creek Campground, which is our destination for tonight for my first backpacking trip ever. Kind of exciting. There's a couple of others first trip as well. We've got a group of 5 of us staying over tonight. That's Ernie. Then 5 of us that are just day hiking it. They're coming out with us, going to hang out and then head back tonight. So, yeah, we're hoping once we get to camp and get set up, we may go check out the Carbon Glacier. We may check out Ipsut Falls, kind of leaving it wide open. Since this is the first time for a number of us, who knows how we're going to feel when we get to camp. So we'll see. So yeah, come along, and there's a few other places we're going to stop along the way that our tourists will check those out. You may have seen some of these from my Green Lake trip from December. It's the same starting out point. We're going to do about 3 miles to that same turnoff, but we're not turning off there. We're going to keep going and checking things out from there. So we will check back in a while. Hey, so we're about 3 miles in. We got our first real decent glimpse of the Carbon River.
You take a little break here?
Do this, or yeah, we do it here. So we're going to take a little break. We made a pretty good place. We're barely an hour in and already done 3 miles. So this road makes it, and you can see it's just nothing but road here. So we're going to do a little break. We're almost to the Green Lake Trail turnoff. We're not going up there this time. I've got a video of that one if you want to check that out. The interesting thing here is the color of the water from the minerals in the glaciers. This one's not even as bad as there's the White River, which is even more so. So, all right, we're going to take a little break and then finish heading towards camp. A couple other maybe small stops we might make along the way. If so, I'll check in then. All right, so we're at Rainier Creek. I think it's Rainier Creek. That's the Green Lake trailhead. See, this is coming up off from Green Lake and stuff. Much more clear water than was down there in the river. There's those day hikers bringing up the rear. They're just kind of pokey today. So we're less than 2 miles, I believe, from the campground, and we've got a couple of other little scenic stops along the way. So check in a little while. So when I first started out today, my lower back was kind of off. I don't know how to best describe it. This is the heaviest I've ever run with a pack. At least maybe since I was in Scouts or something maybe, but even then we didn't do a lot of backpacking. I went with my 36 liter Osprey, so I really had to force myself not to overpack. Kind of forced myself to really think about what I was bringing, I guess. I have a tendency to overpack. I didn't bring some of my little toys that I would normally just keep in my day pack. I might, when I get to camp, I'll run through a little bit of just what I brought, how I packed it, stuff like that. Hey guys. So, being that this is a road, every once in a while you see folks that are biking it. They're allowed to bike up to the campground. Looks like those guys biked in and camped and are heading out tonight, so they're heading out right now. That's why, another reason why I chose this as a good first hike for people, in case anybody in our group wanted to do that. Nobody did, but it was an option. But anyway, so my back is feeling fine now. Had to tweak with my straps a little bit and load balancing and stuff. Took a bit of a spill last week on the rocks and scraped up my knees and just above the ankle on my right leg. And over the course of the week, I realized I also tweaked my shoulder, my left shoulder. It's doing fine, but if I try to reach up, it feels a little tight. So I don't think it'll be a problem for this weekend, but I had a little bit of concern. And then the other day, Wednesday, I was at the store, and on the way home, my right ankle, it's like that tendon that runs along the top of your foot in the front of the ankle or whatever, was giving me some issues. Wore a brace the rest of the day, that day, and all day yesterday. And it seems to be doing okay. Again, I'll keep my fingers crossed. We might be coming up on one of the first washouts, I don't know. So anyway, we'll check in again in a little while. So the water's actually low right now, but you can see this is where the road's been having issues and washouts over there. Ooh, that's a nice view. So right about up there somewhere is where I was hiking last weekend. Another part of the river that road that's washed out along the river, but along with some wonderful views. Mike says there's some goats up on the side of there. I think it's like a white speck, I think. It's not going to show up on the camera, folks, sorry, but I think I see something moving up there. More of the views. Part of the old road / trail. Now they've been making this new one. I think that's even washed out since the last time I was here. Those day hikers, you know, they're just slacking. But there's the Ipsut Creek. That's Ernie up there just plowing ahead full steam.
He's just flying by.
So I just dropped my pack real quick and then went and used, they have vault toilets that are like a composting conversion system here. Very good shape. I'd give them a 9, actually probably a 10 out of, well, 9 out of 10 because the lock doesn't work very well. So, all right, so we are at the start to the trail to the Carbon Glacier. We may do this later, but I wanted to come check it out real quick. So I'm gonna check this out real quick. See if we can do this. So we're there. We can go up this way, part of the Wonderland Trail, and then this can take us up towards the Carbon Glacier. So we may do that at some point. It is 3.5 miles from here, so we'll see. That would make for about a 12 to 15 mile day if we go up there. There's also a falls not far from here that I'm not sure exactly where it's at. I'm hoping to find some more information on that, so we may try to find that. Yeah, first we're gonna go set up camp, maybe have lunch, and kind of go from there. So we'll check in a bit. I ran to the restroom real quick, check out the facilities, and get back. And Jody's already set up. Ernie's got his up. Tracy and Kendra are getting theirs set up. And I think this is going to be where, I think these two trees here might be too far apart. We'll see. Or maybe those two there. Well, except then I won't have room for the fly, so I got to figure. So I don't know. I'll figure something out here. We'll check back after I figure this out. Alright, there is my hammock setup with the new tarp. I got a wilderness permit. So I've got the air pad in there for insulation tonight. Eventually I want to get an underquilt. A lot of these you'll see, I mean this came with 6 lines. But what I did, instead of running a line just from here to the tree and then from that one to the tree like I have on these corners, problem with that is if you have to adjust it, you got to loosen up one end, then you got to go down and do the other, and try to get it, make sure you're centered over your hammock. So I just ran a ridge line with paracord with a small loop, or actually what it is, and then see if I get it to focus on there. Maybe not. There we go. Prusik knot. Could have gone around another time, third time, just went twice, then tied it to there. and that way I can just easily, it keeps tight under tension, but it will easily slide up and down if I release the tension on it. It's the knot that James Bond, Roger Moore, used in, was it For Your Eyes Only, where he climbed up the rope up the side of that monastery up on the rocks. So yeah, that's where I'll be staying tonight. Haven't got the bag out yet. So we're going to do a little off trip. Everybody's just over having lunch and stuff. Focus over there. There's anyway. We're just up from the river. So I might go get some water here pretty soon, but otherwise we're going to do a short little hike up the Ipsut Creek area. Oh, there's the bear boxes. So we'll stash our food in there before we go. Yeah. Very peaceful, very nice. It's only not even 12 noon yet, so we got lots of daytime to enjoy yet. All right, we'll check back later. So one of the things I hadn't really thought of beforehand, I mean, I knew we had to put everything in the bear boxes, but I had stuff scattered throughout my pack. Snack bars, toiletries, different stuff like that. Sorry, got my car out my leg. So I had to go through and make sure I got it all so we can put it all in there. So that's something to think about when you're packing up. Keep all your bear stuff items, scented items, foods, toiletry, stuff like that, all together in one or two small sacks, ready to pull out and throw in there. Or, I guess this is kind of different, because we're here and then we're going to go day hike. So yeah, if it's seriously that, if you're just going out and making camp, then that's probably a little bit different. But yeah, a little convenient that way. So, other than what I'm bringing, my drop leg pack. We're going to just hike up Ipsut Creek a little ways. There's supposed to be a falls nearby. I'm assuming it's on the creek somewhere, so hopefully we'll find it.
Oh my god, so pretty. I wish my camera wasn't broke. It's raining now.
Cool. That's so
Yeah,
pretty.
right? It's unreal.
That is.
You thought so much could grow in a creek?
underneath.
Yeah, really. This whole thing is pretty awesome.
There's your waterfall.
Okay, so half the maps we have show Ipsut Falls. Doesn't really show where it's at. Oh, this is kind of cool. Look at that. So we just kind of started up the trail towards Mount West Lake, and lo and behold, we found a little side trail that says Ipsut Falls, 200 feet. So that's what we're checking out now. This is just kind of cool. It's like a little lost forest. Oh wow, okay. I didn't know what I was expecting. I'm going to put this around and get some better views. I wasn't know what to expect on this. I wasn't expecting something this large. This is kind of cool. Focus is good. Cool. Alright, we're going to go play around here for a little while. I'll get some closer shots. You can see the sun just peeking out at the top there. Kind of a neat little area. This would be a great escape on a hot summer day. This is Ipsut Falls. So we're trying to make our way to Alice Falls, but well, we've lost the trail a couple. Well, not lose the trail. We didn't lose the trail. The trail kind of went away. Rock slides, washouts, stuff like that. So we're scrambling over rocks here and there. We just crossed the spot where we just basically had about a boot's width of trail before sliding down there. So it's definitely an adventure. Another example of where we've run out of trail. There's the trail there. There's not much in between. Great views out here though. Alright, we'll see if we can get through this. It's about 20 after 3 or so. We went out about 3 miles. Sorry, we're at that creek crossing again. All rocky. Decided to stop. Just too many hazards. One in particular was just looking particularly nasty. And so we decided that was it. We're heading back. I still have to go back, get my large bottle and my filter and filter water for tonight. Go back area. There's the river. Little backflow area here. So yeah. Hopefully, so we got about a mile or so back to camp. A couple of things to do before we can actually kick back and start relaxing for the evening. But I am looking forward to it. We'll catch it up in a little bit. So we finally got that rain that was in the forecast. It's not coming down real hard or anything. But I had to go. So we did about 5.5 miles out and back, and then, or actually I think it's 5.8, and then I had to do about another half mile. I should have brought my water, my 3-liter bottle and filter with me. I did not, so I had to walk back to the creek. So where the Carbon River normally meets, so we're sort of almost on like a little, almost an island, I guess an island, if you think of it, because we've got the Carbon River on this side, we've got Ipsut Creek on this side, but Carbon River is also coming around this side over here. You know, I'm going to try to get this on a map and put on here. But normally where the creek meets on the downriver side, it's a good place to get water. At least that was when I was here hiking a year and a half ago. But now there's some of the Carbon River is going around on this side as well, and so it's mixing with the creek, and there's just all that silica sediment and stuff in there, and it's probably fine, but so about a quarter mile up by the falls that we were at earlier, the water's much clearer, so we just went up there to get water. So now I'm going back. I've got some I guess instant refried beans that I mixed in some dehydrated, actually it's Alfredo sauce that I dehydrated and ground up to make sort of a cheesy bean dip for a snack, and then I'll decide from there if I'm hungry enough to start dinner or not. It's about 4-ish by now or so. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get probably I'm gonna change into my base layer and my rain pants for the rest of the evening, and then that way I can just slip the rain pants off when I go to bed tonight. That's the idea. Oh, I used my trekking poles to prop up one side of the fly, so I've got a little more open. I just talked and see to everybody. They're all sitting around the picnic table right now, so maybe do some video of while we're doing and getting dinner ready. Check in a little while. Alright, so you might be wondering what happened to the rest of Saturday. Well, I got back to camp and made my snack and ate, and it was still raining, and in fact it even was starting to go down a little bit harder, and so I decided to crawl into a hammock and kind of rest for a bit. Next thing I know, it was like pitch black out, so it must have been sometime after about 10 o'clock, I believe. I had crawled in there about 7, and so yeah, I ended up just going to bed, and everybody else had kind of retired to their own tents. We didn't really have the setup for like a communal area to sit out in the shelter. So it's just kind of how it worked out. So instead, here's photos from day 1, and then day 2 is coming right up. So we did that half mile there and back trek for water last night because the Carbon River is pretty much full of silica and other sediment. Then here, not even 50 feet from where we camped, there's this little creek of some sort with nice clear water. So we should have explored a little bit more last night. Oh well. At least I can get some nice clear sediment-free water for the hike back out. So it's about 9 o'clock in the morning. We've just been kind of hanging out, being lazy, and I'm just going to kind of explore around the river area here a little bit. Over there is where they saw a couple of deer last night, or a deer at least. I don't remember if they said 1 or 2. Been a good trip despite the rain. Caught up on my sleep, I guess. A lot of down trees. Some other campers came in late last night. Just kind of an all-around good kind of a day. Really kind of foggy. It's kind of cool out. Hopefully this will burn off a little bit on our way back, though. I think it's Chenuis Falls we're going to try and get closer to without... Depends on how sketchy it is crossing the river down there to get some good pictures of that. And that just kind of gonna poke around a little bit this morning and see what there is to see right around here. All these rocks, I mean, all this stuff is like when the river's really high, this is the stuff that gets washed down here. And all right, we'll catch up again in a little while. So we've got another camper joining us today. We think this is the one that, whoops, there we go. The one that they saw crossing the river last night. She's just been kind of hanging out. A little bit after 10 o'clock, we're getting ready to break camp. Everybody's all packed up. I'm just doing last little checking of things before we hit the trail. It's a little over 5 miles back. Should be a nice leisurely stroll. It's all quote-unquote downhill, even though it's a slow grade. I think it was about over the 5 miles here, elevation gain of, I think Ernie said on his GPS it was like 600 feet, which seems like a lot, but when you're only doing like 100 feet per mile, I guess that's not bad. Saw the deer there. Got, what else? Yeah, it's been a nice weekend. We're gonna maybe stop at a couple little of the sites on the way out. If so, we'll hopefully get some pictures and some stuff of that. No sun yet, but hopefully maybe by the time we get back, these clouds will have burned off a little bit. Yeah, well, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Hopefully we'll get a few more shots before we get out of here, and I'll wrap this up when we get back to the trailhead. All right, talk to you later.
8 miles there, then I did the loop, and I added some more, so that's pretty Chenuis Falls is on the trail out, and we walked down there over all of us, and then we walked.
Another wildlife sighting. The elusive chipmunk.
Yeah, I won't go that way. No.
And on our way out, we had another brush with wildlife. We had a couple of deer right along the trail here. So, yeah, they didn't like my joke either when I told the rest of them that there were some deer on the trail. Oh well, sorry. So about a mile, not quite a mile and a half from the campground, we're at Chenuis, I think it's pronounced. I don't know how to pronounce it, but Falls. It's across the river. We crossed a little foot log bridge over there. Now we're just trying to navigate and see if there's someplace we can cross. It looks like possibly not. There's some people here that are turning around. So we're going to see if we can get a little bit closer. So this is what we're running into trying to get across. You see a little bit of the falls over there. I'm going to try looking down a little bit further down here and see if there's That spot right about there looks maybe potentially promising. So there's the falls behind the trees. We can't really see it much from here. Looks almost like a slide area. It would probably be really fun in the summer. And if it was warm enough, I'd probably just go right across here. But my feet are definitely get wet. And we still got about 3.5 miles to hike out, so. Not gonna make it today. Alright, so Ernie and I found a spot that we braved across. I got 1 foot wet so far. Have a little bit of area to traverse and get close enough to maybe get some good pictures. The girls decided not to try and follow us. They're probably the smart ones in the group. They're so back over there. But I can see it, it's right. We're all so close. So, let's see if I can get across this little thing, and I should be right at the mouth. Alright, Jody decided to try and follow us. She's on the log we laid down. It's about 1 inch underwater. But she made it. Not sure if the others are going to follow. We'll see. We're so close! So I'm not going to get through there. We're going to try and go around there a little bit, try and get a little bit closer. See if we can get some good shots of the falls. So the women weren't as smart as us, I guess. They followed us over. We're bushwhacking through some brush, trying to get closer to the falls. Kendra was staying behind, but then she decided to just wade across, so she's over there putting her boots back on. Over there somewhere. And we'll be coming up along this log here, so I'm just waiting for her to catch up, and then we'll try to catch up with the others back that way. If nothing else, it's a hell of an adventure, right? Hopefully none of us falls in. Alright, we made it. And I gotta say, that was worth it. Now we just need to find a way up to the top and slide down. I don't think we'll do that today though. So way across that gap, that's where the trail is. I kind of went off a little bit with our over the falls, and I found this trail that would have been totally easy way to get here. I mean, that's the river back there, so this is the way I just came out. It's an actual trail. It's look at this, there's some actual trails to get out of here. Yes! So we did the hard way for nothing.
For an adventure.
For the adventure of it. Oh, this looks. Oh, just look at the way the trees are. That's kind of cool.
This whole thing is like an enchanted forest. I am so glad we came.
All right, I'm gonna go find the others real quick and let them know about the way out. Yeah, look at the right. There's another footbridge across.
Over here.
That's Jody, one of the backpackers with us. All right, I'm gonna go get the others and show them we'll have an easier way getting out of here. So we stopped at the entrance, or the turnoff to a little mine. It's about 1/3 of a mile, 1/4 mile in and up. I've been there a couple times before, and my foot is really starting to bother me. I only got about a mile left back to the trailhead. But here it is, let's see. Washington Mining and Milling Company. Short walk in, and then it's uphill a couple hundred feet. Some switchbacks to get up there. It's on my Green Lake video, so if anyone wants to check that out. So I'm just staying down here with the pad. They all left their packs down here, and so except for Ernie, Mr. Hardcore Ernie. So yeah, they're checking that out. So I've just been down here, kind of chilling in the lush greenery here. So there's an area here, and I don't know if this is part of it technically. This is a deciduous rainforest. Instead of this is like the tropical rainforest everybody thinks of, based on the amount of rainfall that qualifies that it gets here every year. and it is just, no matter what, I've been in this area pretty much any time of year, and it's just always lush and green and just, yeah, it's incredible. Let's check that out a little bit. So yeah, we're about to wrap things up for the weekend. Like I said, we got, after they get back down, got maybe a mile just over to get back to the trailhead. So I may say some final goodbyes when we get there. Sorry, thought I saw something moving. Just my imagination. No Bigfoot, no Sasquatch. So anyway, yeah, we'll wrap things up here in just a little bit. Oh, well, I'm waiting for those guys. I thought I'd point this out, a couple of things. So this is an invasive plant species. I forget if it's devil's foot or devil's club. Nasty stuff. It's got these little spines all over it, including the underside of the leaves. And as they mature, they even get little prickles on the upper side of the leaves. Hateful, nasty stuff. And unfortunately, we missed the fiddleheads on the ferns by about 2 weeks, I'm thinking. Tasty stuff when you get them when they're still just curled up. Yeah, I tried to get out a couple of times to find some trailside salad, basically, this year, but missed the opportunity again this year. Man, you can see this Devil's Club is all frickin' over the place. It's just a yeah, I'll find some information on it and throw it up, but it's an invasive species around here that's just nasty on these trails. Brushing up against it is not fun. Hey everybody, so I am obviously not on the trail at the moment. So I got back home and got cleaned up and started, haven't quite finished unpacking everything yet. I haven't even started unpacking stuff. And was just looking through stuff, and the video I thought I did at the end at the trailhead, well, I just took a picture. Hit the wrong button and was talking to myself for a couple minutes, wrapping things up. So yeah, so I'm redoing it, do over. So yeah, we did it was about 5.5 miles into the campground. We did a little trekking around after that, about between 6 and 7 miles. So we did about 12 to 13 miles yesterday, and then another almost 7, 6 something on the way out. So I don't know, we did somewhere around 18 to 19 miles total between yesterday and today with all our little putzing around. Sorry, squirrel. So yeah, it was a good time. I got back and found the luggage scale and decided to weigh my pack. I'm glad I didn't do it before the trip. My pack, and it's probably pretty close, if not even a little bit less than what it was yesterday, because my gear's wet. I still got to pull that out of there. I didn't really go through any of my food. I didn't carry any water in the pack. And it came in at about 32 pounds. Yeah, so I need to figure out how to get that down. And that's with my 36-liter pack. That's a small pack. Everybody else was running 50, 60, and I think Ernie was even pushing an 80-liter pack, and he was loaded to bear. So, need to look at that and figure out some things there, maybe. And I don't think, other than the fact that I didn't use any of my food, didn't really take anything I didn't possibly need to have. My rain gear, one change, not even a full change of clothes, stuff for keeping warm. Yeah, so I'm not even sure how I'm going to trim that down. We'll have to, other than like my sleeping bag itself and stuff like that. So, we'll see. Which I'm kind of thinking, if I'm going to do this on a regular basis in this weather, I need a better sleeping bag anyways. So, yeah, that's that. We'll see. I enjoyed it. I do want to do it again, and hopefully Bonnie can make it next time. And that distance was a little tough with that heavy a pack. I will admit that. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. Surprise Lake, which we were at last weekend, and I haven't posted anything on that yet. I'm so behind on videos. Might be another one. It's a short trip. It's like less than 3 miles up there. and then there's a little bit of exploring to do once we're up there, so that might be one to do. It was really weird camping and not having a fire. It's a wilderness. It is originally a campground, but now it's wilderness, considered wilderness camping. So you're not supposed to have fires, at least in the park. Surprise Lake, where I was last week, and would like to go back and maybe backpack to. That's forest, national forest, so fires would be allowed. So that would be a bonus. Of course, be safe and be careful with those. But we're right by a lake, so that'll help. But yeah, other than that, Memorial Weekend's coming up next weekend. We may try to do a little bit of car camping because Bonnie's still recovering from her elbow injury. So we may try to do that just as a little introduction, getting her back on the trail. My foot's kind of bugging me, so I got to figure out what's going on with that. Other than scraping up my leg, I survived the weekend just fine. Stepped over a rock and hit a pointy stick sticking out of a log and scraped up the side of my thigh, or my calf. Nothing major. Par for the course, I guess, when you're wearing shorts out on the trail sometimes. So anyway, yeah, overall great weekend, had fun. All 5 of us, it was a good trip. I'd like to maybe do it with another group like that again soon. Glad you guys came along, and of course, the obligatory, if you like this, please like the video, subscribe, give me comments and stuff like that. Let me know what you're thinking of the stuff I'm sharing, and we'll kind of go from there. Thanks, everybody. Hope to see you on the trail. Bye now.